Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Wednesday, December the 6th, 2023. Again, there's really not much I'm going to be adding. Again, the market stayed within a range, had a great trading day, I will say that. I mean, as a day trader, there are some beautiful moves and not really difficult to follow along. Technically, we had several places where the market failed and then followed through on that failure by reversing, going down, failing again, and then following through on that by reversing. We had that several times today, and it does produce some interesting trades if you have the patience and you can handle the bebopping around, the swinging around that the market tended to do today. Starting here, I'm on the 4-hour chart in the S&P, just basically to show that it is, in my opinion, going to work out to be a triangle wave 4. And that includes the irregular B. So because the A and the B did go up and make a new high by above wave 3, came in at, I believe, 1.236, and now is dropping down. And I believe, as I've mentioned before, the 0.618 of the entire play would come back down below here. But being that it is a triangle pattern, that's off the books. And we just work A, B, C, complex as it was. D finishing up today. That's sliding back down. So far it is. Let me just jump back down to this 1 hour, open it up again. You can see A, B, C. So far. This is not complete. I still think that the market will finish this up unless it did by coming down and smacking into the support line at 45.52, finishing up, looking like it's going to try to close just above that level, right? Hit the support, bouncing up, finishing up for the day, right now sitting around 45.56. Now, if this indeed is going to be the E wave, then our expectation would be that we kind of start to thrust up and out. But being that we're at the end of the day, we're at the close, that if it starts, it needs to go quickly. But if this is complete, we need to thrust. Otherwise, we do still have that potential where it could drop down to next support, which is at 45.24. And what it would then become, again, does it fall out of the triangle and then continue to then rally back up? Because I really feel like I've gone through so many iterations of what all of this inside could be. And it really is fine, A, B, and this is where it starts to get funky. So got here, then we got 3, then we got 3, then we have 3. And this basically could be a 3 and then a 5. So 3, 3, 5, that's corrective. And this, so far, we got to see how this all works out. The only other that I can come up with, and it does not fit anymore, is that you have to kind of try to figure that you have an A wave, A, B, C, B wave, and now we're in a C wave. But it truly doesn't fit. And I've even attempted to try to work it to where the B wave, this internal right in here, is somehow on the S&P its own triangle. There are B wave triangles. And again, even that has a little bit of a difficulty because we have to go A, B, C, D, E, and then thrust out, which it did, by the way. But again, I've got to let this all play out. The bottom line through all of this is that, yes, it's still a fourth wave. And going back out a little bit so we can see, it's still a fourth wave. And let me just put it back out this way. Now we're still looking for that. We're down, that was intermediate X, and I believe this is ABC, and it is going to be completing. I'm going to likely switch these back around. And unfortunately, back to an intermediate A, intermediate B, and this is intermediate C. Whether it fits or whether it doesn't, we'll find out. Otherwise, it's going to be intermediate wave A, or I got to back it out even further and look at all of this. Now, I know that there's some that are considering a strange four of some sort, but I actually do not, because of the very large crossover. I can take it out one more. We're looking at a daily. I think that this was the completion of a primary wave A. And then this all becomes the part of the B wave. So even if I'm labeling A and B and I pull this down, this is just way, way, way too big to be anything other than an intermediate degree move. So I had to back it back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we get an ABC X ABC. So I will say we've yet to break that. So if need be, and I'm serious on this one, what I have left is this did actually complete the primary B. And this actually was a diagonal first wave, intermediate wave 1 down here. And then this is all, I'm going to go back down. And this is all an intermediate wave 2. And then what we've done is wave 1 is, excuse me, an A, B, C in minor degree. And we're in that, we're getting ready to put in the fifth wave completing pattern that more than likely is going to hold us below 46.84, which is the high of primary wave B, if I were to move that back. I'm sharing all this because I believe that what we are finishing a larger move. And if the S&P is going to be in alignment with the other indexes, particularly the NASDAQ, which it shares the Magnificent Seven with, then I do think that what we have is primary B, intermediate wave 1, and then intermediate wave 2, and we drop off the map. Now, back down here so I can get over and show that same type of comparison in the NASDAQ. So looking for this wave 4 to get complete, looking for a serious rally back up. Every time now, every time this rally starts and can get itself back above or close to 4,600, got above it here, put in a new high. That's still not clean. It's best as a 3. And even if I were to say, okay, ABC 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's a stretch. If I had to put that 5 here, well, what the heck? Is this 1, 2, and now we're starting on the third wave down? So you can see, I can run the gamut of what our possibilities are in here. And again, seriously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit of a failure, but still ABC. So is this the 5? Is this 1, 2? And now we're coming off in a third? We shall see. We shall see. If we start to decline with Ernst tomorrow, or it just kind of starts to come apart at the seams, we may be left with nothing other than what I'm just saying. So again, what I try to present is just the possibilities of what we're confronting. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt that there's still a rally out there to finish up, that they're going to hope or pray or work it out that they're going to get this year-end rally. We get bits and pieces of it, and then it dies. Bits and pieces of it, then it dies. But it's not following through. Great trading, but it's not following through. So if you're position trading, it's like, boy, you're probably pulling out whatever hair you may have left. Now, I'm going to leave it as is. A, B, C, D, E, we get a quick run up. That's still my target. And then it drops. And by the way, if we look at our moving averages, they're all, look at the 50, look at the 200. They're sitting basically parallel about, let me see, 71. And what is this one? Let me get that. Come on, tell me where it is. 71, 73. They're sitting 2 points apart. Flat as pancakes, 2 points apart. That's 50 and the hourly, 200 and the hourly 50, simple moving averages, 2 points apart. And while the 8 and the 20 go, what? We're going up, what? We're going down, and just kind of roll itself all over the place. Over in the NASDAQ, the NASDAQ is my index of choice. And it is, again, pretty much the same in that I believe that we did discuss this yesterday, where it could all been an A, and this all would have been a B, and we're now working out the C wave, or could it be completing a B, which we did today then. I had to leave it all open. The market let us know, did this great rally this morning again, with everyone early coming in, a lot of institutions or some fund managers or whomever, coming in and deciding Apple is the stock to have, running it back above 194, getting up there, getting their pockets full, and then boom. And then the profit taking takes over, and the market comes back down, and then the cards to take. Apple went, AMD went, all of them. All of them just reached that point and decided, okay, time to go back down. And NVIDIA, great morning, afternoon, sell it all off. I think it all the way down. We pretty much rejected this level. I mean, there were other technical things that were going on up here that also gave more clues. It's like, okay, it failed at this level. It failed to turn. And then once it came back down and broke below a moving average, basically was the 200, it was all she wrote. And then we just started to accelerate until it finally came back. But it was a very technical sell-off. Now, here as well, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt that we still have a C wave to finish. Here are the markings for a C wave, where C would be equal to A at 15,550. Right below that, we have the Fibonacci 382 for wave 4 at 15,483. Both high-level candidates to get this all complete. We have the 50% and 1.618 at 15,259 to 49. That's all down there below, should it get out of hand, so to speak. But I'm going to open this one up. Take a look at it on the 4-hour chart. Again, I'm looking at a minor 5. And this one, because it really was a funky diagonal, funkin' diagonal. Yeah, there you go. And so I moved it back, minor wave 5. And now it's very fitting. The third wave was strong by strong. And now we're just working through this fourth wave, sticking to the higher levels, right? So it's not really breaking down, which continues to give us that inside view that, it's probably just a 4. We still have that fifth wave to get up there. Again, where? Above 16,208, I've got minor wave 5. That's what this one was. Minor wave 5 being equal to minor wave 1 at 16,327. That fits. But hey, look where we are now, 15,814. So we're more than 500 points away, about 515 points away from where we might want to go. What's going to be the catalyst to drive it up there? That suddenly everybody participates, all the component companies participate, all the indexes participate, and this last blast from the past driving the markets higher, when in reality, that took place here in November. So could it be that what all the funds are going to be long, or whatever they're going to be long, it's already all done? Don't know. I'm leaving it open and letting the market tell us, again, pretty clean on this AB of 4. It's taking longer than I would have anticipated. Again, this is November the 29th. So, where this is, not the worst that could be happening. So Wednesday to Wednesday, so we're a week or 2 weeks in, I guess. No, let me take that back. Let me just double check. So the 20, we're a week, fourth wave taking a week. So that's really how many trading days. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days, and we're still hanging out. I guess it could be a lot worse, but that's what we're looking for this to complete, actually to hold above the 4-hour simple moving average, the simple 200, and then rally and get this over with. And then I will be putting a 5, a minor 5, intermediate wave C, primary wave B, everything completes, along with in the S&P, I would then consider that intermediate wave 2. That's kind of the direction I'm heading with over there, because I think to do the second intermediate ABC, it kind of does not fit. So it might, and a lot of people might label it that way, but again, I'm going to wait and see. What more importantly, I think we both the S&P and the NASDAQ top at the same point in time and start a major decline at the same point in time, because I believe it will be the same fundamentals and technicals that will drive both the markets to start to head lower. So again, for tomorrow, we may see a continuation of the downside as it comes down and pulls in and finishes the wave C, and then in turn the minute wave 4, and hopefully then turn it around and start to rally back up so that we can finish off this minute wave 5 and in turn the minor wave 5. Moving averages here as well. This is the 4-hour. We'll take a look at the 1 hour. Actually, let's take a look at the daily. Daily is also pretty flat, still kind of heading up with an upward bias, still has an upward bias, even though we had a strong down day. The 4, the 20, the 8 and the 20, they're the ones that are kind of like, what are we going to do? So they're still in alignment to finish this move, right? If we look at the daily, 200 on the bottom, then the 50, then the 20, then the 8. So everything's in alignment to kind of continue. Let's finish it off. And that's why I'm continuing to hold out as well. All right. Our next update will be on Thursday, December the 7th. One quick peek on what comes out tomorrow economic. We have initial jobless claims, wholesale inventories, and consumer credit. Consumer credit basically, a little bit of a decline if it comes in the way they're estimating. That is at 3 p.m. Eastern. Wholesale inventories at 10 a.m. Eastern. 8:30 initial jobless claims. That's 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Next update again, Thursday, December the 7th.